Welcome to this look at some complicated new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday the 16th of October. We've got some new mods and we've got a couple of updates. The Volvo FH16 pack by HR Forst und Fahrzeugbau and the Forestry Service trailer by Carl TG have both had updates. Let's crack straight along, shall we? We've got the Claas tractor pack in front of me by Biggins, 89.44 megabytes download, 18 slots and 21 slots for the 3 tractors in the pack, as you can see. These all come sort of standard with metallic options and changes for the chassis and various different bits. You'll see. They're very cool, very nice. They look cool, sound cool. Under large tractors, and we're going to start here with the Axion 960, 920, or 920, different way right here. 253,000 for the base unit. So we've got 325 horsepower, 355 horsepower, 385, 410, and then we go up to 445 and then 530. That's up there on big old Fent 1050 sort of horsepowers up there. Pretty cool. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, and back again for our tyre choice. So I'll show you on the Trelleborgs. Weights, rear twins, twins, narrow twins 2, which puts the front tyres smaller, like that, or front wheels and tyres smaller, back to standard. And then various different options with regard to Michelin, BKT, and back again. Window tint, light, medium, dark, back again. Beacons, I think it's 1 through, I think it was 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, 6. Oh, that's not so bad. I thought it was 8. 6. No accessories. Inside we've got a toolbox. We've got lunch, or both. Then you've got, if you've got precision farming on, you can have the Iceria Pro Compact on the wing mirrors. The main colour, anything on this palette here, which does that. And this is the same for all 3. Roof colour, we can change. We've then got a frame colour, again, which does that, and that will vary depending on the tractor. Exterior trim, let's go yellow, so you can see that. Does, oh, that's grim. All that. Fenders and what's notary, let's go green. Does all of that. Blimey. Interior trim, then we've got seat colour, so we've got some very different colours there, including kind of leathers, fabrics as well. So you can change your seats as well. Rim colour, license plate option there on there as well. Then we go to the Axion, which is the trackered version, like that. With this one, 355, 445, 530, just those 3 options. Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Friedrichstein, Nokian, and back again. So far more tyre choices on the front of this one than there were on the previous version. And again, options, I don't think we have an option for narrows on these. Standard, wides, I think it was pretty much standard and wides on each one. Standards. Standard wide, yeah, pretty much. Window tint the same, beacons the same, accessories the same. Iceria Pro Compact, main colour, roof colour, frame colour, all those things exactly the same. Oh, this one actually has got an interior trim and interior trim 2. If we go to, let's go beige, does all those bits. And then the next one, let's go yellow. I don't know why you would go yellow. So you've got a couple of options on there. And then obviously you've got your main colour and all those kind of things too. Then move on to the Xerion 12 SE. So we've got the EU version, or the US version, which starts us off. We've then got 585 horsepower, 653 horsepower, 730 horsepower. We've got Claas with the crawler track, or called crawler track broad. And then we go to Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Friedrichstein, Nokian, back to that again. So if we go to, for example, Trelleborg, twins and weights, I think that was it. Oh no, twin wheels 2, and weights 2, wide tyres, so singles, with weights, then back to twins again. So we can have a tired option too. Front weight 1,800, 2,200, 2,600, 3,000, 3,400. No. Additional weight, that's on the back. We can have 400 kilo, 800 kilo, 1,200 kilo, 16. 2,000, back off again. Window tint same options. Beacons, I think it was 1 through 6 again, same options on the beacons. Accessories, Asteria Pro, main colour, roof colour, frame colour, same options as all the previous ones to mess around with and pick something you like. So we'll jump in this one. There's no options actually. Oh no, it wasn't on this, was it? It was on the let's jump on this one. Yeah, no doors or window options on these ones. Depending on what beacon option you went for. I hope I can fit all this in. But sweet! Very nice indeed in here. Stop that one there. Nice bit of seat suspension. Went for clear beacons on this one, but again, whatever you choose. L1, R1, L1, R1. Yeah, no doors or windows on this one. I remember going to Agritechnica 2019 when this was brand new out, and they had one there, and everyone's just standing around in absolute awe of this thing. It was incredible. Not that it's commonplace now, but you know. Oh, I left the beacons on the other one. Turn that off. Turn the beacons off, and then finally the Xerion. I've got all those John Deeres to get through as well. Same with this, no doors or windows. Although, yeah, this one. So, all-wheel steer, crab left, crab right, back to all-wheel steer. It does sound good. It's like the stitching around the inside of the wheel as well. Again, I know that's not specific to this, but it is very cool. So there we go. That is the Claas tractor pack. Next we have got, oh yeah, over the back, we have this, which is a representative. This is the Gyrax Cultivator pack by AgriDesignModding, Nathaël, Nico do 55. This is 16.84 megabytes download, 8 slots, and then you've got various different options for size on this. This is under cultivators and just there. So 4.1 metre, 4.7 metre, 5.4 metre, 6. I think I went for the 5.4. I didn't go for the full Monty. The bigger you go and the size of your tractor dependent will decide whether or not you probably want to put a front weight on, because this is 3-point link mounted, doesn't have a wheel on the back or anything like that. Now this does have an option for shallow and deep cultivation. So once we're unfolded, R1, toggle work mode. Let's put this down first and see what we get off the bat. And we'll be able to tell when we go across this bit. Right, so I would say that's deep cultivation. Toggle work mode. Drop it down again. There you go. That's your shallow. So shallow and deep cultivation. Shallow cultivation, more like a disc harrow, shouldn't bring up stones. Deep cultivation will bring up stones, but should only bring up small ones at that. And there you go. Oh, that got a bit stuck there, didn't it? And the folding back up again. That is the Gyrax Cultivator pack. Next, we've got this. This is the Horsch Seed Shuttle by Kalderone. This is 5.11 megabyte download, 3 slots, 2,200 litre capacity. You'll find this under auger wagons with an option for front loader and telehandler attachment. So if you want to be filling up your seed carts and stuff like that, but because it comes under auger wagons, it doesn't just do that. So it's not as much of a one-trick pony. I first thought, well, wouldn't you just bring bags out, or you know? But yeah, so you can do all your auger wagon crop types in there, including seed and fertilizer. So you can have a couple of these on the back of a trailer and then just refill stuff as you go. Again, that's entirely up to you, however you go about it, whatever you want to do with it. So telehandler, or front loader attacher, and then main colour, anything on that pallet, like so. I did go for seed, but do whatever you want. Cover open and closed, and then when you get to whatever you want to unload onto, you unload it. I mean, I can unload here, I guess. Okay, I was expecting it to just unload onto the floor. That's good that you can unload it, because then you could put something else in it. That is refilling now anyway. So there you go. The Horsch Seed Shuttle. Turn the engine off. Next that, we've got this. Making a return of sorts. This is the JCB325T by Onur Emre. This 8.44 megabytes download and 6 slots. You'll find this and your skid steer loaders just there, 58 grand, 74 horsepower. You've got it like this, or if you're expecting to go into battle over a minefield, something like that, you can put the safety frame on. I mean, that's like... I mean, yeah, of course it is. It's to protect you on building sites and forestry and stuff like that, whatever it might be. And then license plate option, yes or no. Hop in, start it up. There's our lights. This is not an extendable boom or anything like that, but, you know, it does the job. As you would hope. There you go. That's the JCB325T. Next. It's these next. This is the John Deere 148 and 158 front loaders by EY-Modding. 3.81 megabytes download and 2 slots each. Now these do come with a note. And the note at the bottom says, recommended mod for John Deere attacher configuration. So I think it might be some of the EY-Modding tractors, because there's quite a few John Deere ones. If you've got a front loader attacher option on those tractors, this is kind of the front loader that you should probably be using with it, if you wanted to. So, options on this, we've got quick John Deere for our attachers. I think same with this one, quick and John Deere. Those are our two choices on those. Then we come out of there and we go to our front loader tools. Under here we've got the bucket. The bucket was only one slot. 900 litre capacity. You can have it standard as a bucket, or if you want to do bales, you kind of just strap in your bale spike on there with a chain on the front, which is quite cool, and you can use it as a bale spike instead. So anywhere where you've got a toolbox, workshop trigger, wherever it might be, just swap it over, and you can, so it's not two separate things. That's pretty cool. So bale spear or bucket. That is the John Deere 148 and 158 front loaders. Next, we've got this. This is the John Deere 40 series by BlackSheep Modding. This has been in production for a while. I do keep up with the stuff on their web page. 79.55 megabytes download. We've got 20 slots times 2, 21 slots times 2, and 22 slots times 2. The first 4 are under small tractors, and the last 2 are under medium tractors. These are the longer bonnet, and what I like about these, well, the attention to detail, phenomenal. A lot of the options on these will overlap. Not all of them do, but some of them do. Difference between the two-wheel drive and the four-wheel drives, there are some different tyre choices between them as well. What else? Yes, sound effects between the two long bonnets and the rest of them, very distinctive. And like I say, the attention to detail, absolutely tip-top. Very cool. So, let's go to our small tractors and we'll start on the smaller this end on the two-wheel drive. 32 grand for this one, the base model. 112 horsepower, 124 horsepower, 146 horsepower. And it does change the options, as you can see, where your filters and bits and bobs go on this. Up to 146. We've got Trelleborg, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein, Michelin, Nokian, John Deere, and then back to Trelleborg. Under John Deere, we've got standard US, rear twin US, rear twin wheels, forestry, wide tyres, back to standard. Trelleborg, standard EU, rear twin EU, standard US, rear twin US, back to standard. And then, like I say, various different options within those, depending on what you decide to go for on the two-wheel drive. Then we've got design configuration. EU1, EU2, US1, US2, US3, and back to EU1. Now, some of those options on the other tractors will depend if you've got four-wheel drive. That will do front fenders as well, so it does. There's quite a lot of options. I'll try and get through these as quick as I can. I don't need to show them all to you guys. You know, you can go through, and once you get the idea what's going on, you can figure it out for yourself. It's quite straightforward. Cabin design 1, design 2, ROPS system with beacons. Then you got semi cab with beacon, and then we got reflectors on the top of that cab when the beacon goes. Design 7 has 2 beacons, and then I think we go reflectors with the 2 beacons. Yep. Then warning sign on the back with the reflectors on there. I say reflectors, indicators. And then back to design 1 again. Front mounting 3-point, 60 kilo, 240, 400, 560. Back to 3-point on the weight. Forestry, yes or no? So I think you can have that cage on all of these. Front loader attacher, John Deere, HerrKrupp, MX Storm, and then no. License plate option on there as well. Then we move into the 4-wheel drive version, which is pretty much the same options, but obviously 4-wheel drive. So 112, 124, 146 are options. If we go back to our John Deere, you'll see the difference in here. So we've got standard US, rear twin, then rear twin US, then rear twin, then twin wheels, then forestry twins. So with the 4-wheel drive, different for options on there. Then our wides, and then back to standard. Then the trailer bogs. Again, I'll run through these. Standard EU, rear twin EU, standard US, rear twin US, back to standard. I don't think we have, there we go, wides, rear twins, narrows, rear narrows across the board, wheel weights, and then we run through wide and weights, and back to standard again. So there's a few different options. Now with this one, again, like I say, we've got EU1, EU2 puts the fender on, then EU3 changes the pipe, EU4 without, EU5 changes it, then adds the fender. So we bounce through the different options on those. EU6 and then back to 1. Cabin style again, ROPS, beacons, partial cover, and then the various different options with reflectors, and same as the previous one. 3-point, and the same with the weights on that one. Forestry option, cage, like I said, that can be on all of them. Front loader attacher, John Deere, HerrKrupp, back. License plate option on there as well. Then we move on to the slightly different. Now these come with a cab as standard. So the first 2, the smaller ones, I say smaller ones, they don't have options for opening and closing of doors because they don't have a cab. These ones do have the rounded cab, but other than that, pretty much the same. 112, 124, 146. Tyre options pretty much the same as we run through for the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive. Same with our configurations, beacons. Forestry, if I put the forestry cage on, you see that goes on with there. I do like these rounded cab fronts on these. Front loader attachers and license plate, pretty much the same. And again, that is a sweeping statement. And I know a ton of work has gone into these by BlackSheep Modding, and I'm not trying to overlook them or anything. It's just a lot of options. And then the 4-wheel drive version, again, same for our engine, same for our tyres. We go back to our John Deere's, for example. And if we go to the trailer borg, then we've got the wides, wide and weights, the narrow twins. So again, pretty much same options as the other ones, just obviously on this version with the cab. Same with our design configuration, beacons, front mounting, forestry, front loader attacher, license plate option on there as well. So come out of there, and then we go to our medium tractors, and we have got just here the 2-wheel drive L and the standard 4-wheel drive L. Say standard. The prices get me. It's not too bad at all. So we've got 174 or 203 horsepower. Trelleborg, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Friedrichshain, Michelin, Nokian, back to John Deere, and again same options pretty much as we go. So I do like that option. Then we go to that one, rear twin, forestry, wide. And then if you go with the 4-wheel drive, you have the twins, the doubles and stuff on that as well. And then the same thing with this, EU1, EU2, US1, US2, US3, back to EU1. Beacons the same, 3-point the same. Oh, and actually beacons, were they different on this? I don't think they were. Design 1 was sort of the reflector indicators. Design 2, 3, 4, back to warning sign. Yeah, there we go. Front loader attacher, license plate option as well. And then we go into the 4-wheel drive. Again, just a bigger beastie with pretty much the same configurations as we go. If I pick a different tyre company, for example, or BKT just has the wides, Friedrichshain, for example, standard, wide, wide 2, rear twin, twin, standard. So it does have the narrows, but other ones do. And then let's come out of here. So, listen. Beacons, lights, first person, it sounds awesome. Very, very cool. So this is just the four-wheel drive version of that. And again. But you see the indicators on top. So if you've gone for the cab, cover and beacons. Oh, I do like the sound of them. Right, so these ones with the cabs, so these ones have the extra options. L1, R1, right stick side side, right stick up and down, so door and window. So from inside, interiors, very nice indeed. But do sound pretty much the same. Like I say, these are just the cabbed versions of those ones we've already looked at. As you can see, with this one I've gone with an option for the front loader attacher. I'm just thinking I might have my speakers up a little bit loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. So this will be the same, but again, we'll just look at the... I went for the forestry option with the wide tyres. I like the way the window opens at the back with the cage on the back of it as well. That's pretty cool. Now, here's where the difference comes in. So let's jump into this one. Went for the MX loader on this one. See? Very different. Much quieter. It's a nice pack of tractors, really nice. All the gears changing that. Very cool, and the same with this one. Door open and close, and rear window, because we've got the cab on here as well. Like so. Awesome. What a selection of mods. So anyway, that was the John Deere 40 series. If I've done them a disservice, if I've missed any options or anything, I do apologise. But it's a very cool pack. Have a look through, you'll find something. So next we come to this. This is the John Deere 4020 pulling tractor by EY Modding. 12.55 megabytes download and 7 slots. I've gone for Count Dragula, but it's entirely up to you. And you can use this on your fields. It's got a regular hitch, so if you want to do usual general stuff with it, you can. It's just a bit of fun, this one, I think, really. I'm going to say that. Again, probably doing them a disservice. There we go. Under large tractors, 150 grand. It starts at 1,300 horsepower, so 1,300 horsepower or 1,500 horsepower if you want. Paint scheme, we have got the corn puller, we've got money pit, we've got Deere drag, Deere express, Count Dragula, the diesel chugging Deere, and then back to no. Pulling parts, so at the moment it's sort of more of in tractor mode. You have those, so if it does sort of get airborne, that will stop the whole thing tipping backwards. A wheelie bar, and then we've got attacher configuration on the back, high and low. If you want to change that, those are your options. Now, I'll be honest, it doesn't go as fast as I thought it would. It only goes up to 24 miles an hour. Let's start it up. But boy, does this roll some coal. There's our lights. There's no beacons on it. Proper horn. Interior. Nice roll cage. You wait for this to... I mean, to be fair... Of course, it's a pull-in tractor. That gets up to 25 mile an hour. I mean, we're there. Whoosh! I mean, look at that. That can't be good for the environment. So yeah, if you've got a big old plough or something you need pulling, you might want to use that. That's the John Deere 4020 pulling tractor. Next we've got over here. This is another one of those ones. I mean, it's pretty much the base game version. It's pretty much the base game vehicle. The version of this just gives you a load of options for changing the colour configuration and stuff like that. I'll say that. This is the Merlo Multifarmer 44.9 CS 170 CV Tronic by AgePee, AgePee, I'll say. 9.82 megabytes download. You will find it. So there's our standard there for 149,500. Here's this one for 149,500. Options on this one. We have got Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, BKT, Vredestein. Back again. Main colour, anything on that palette, which will do all of that. Design colour does the hubs. So if we go, it doesn't matter, let's go blue so you can see them. Change our hubs. Rim colour option, license plate option on there too. In essence, yeah, it's the colour choices. Everything else is pretty much the same as the standard version. We've got our beacon, we've got our lights, we've got our boom that does our boom, 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 you know. We've got our steering options, all-wheel steer, front-wheel steer, crab left, crab right, back to all-wheel steer. Yeah, but like I say, just gives you a bit of configuration option on that if you want to personalise your Merlo. Go for it. Now, adding on to this one, I'll say adding on to it, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to look at the telehandler tools with camera. So this is by Preze929, 1.07 megabytes download, 1s and 2s on the slot count. I've got one of them out, and you'll see why. If we go to telehandler tools and we come to here. So, why I got one of these out, bale spike's fairly standard, pallet fork, I did check to see if it had tension straps, it doesn't. And then we've got the wrapped bale grab there as well. And then we've got a log fork. All of these have the option for decals, yes or no, and we can change the main colour, like so. So that you can mix and match those with whatever you want. That's up to you. What's different with these are, this one here, the shovel, and the manure fork is the capacities. So you've got standard, again, you've got decals, yes or no, capacity 2,640, 10,640, 100,640. Now the thing about these is, and the same with any buckets or any trailers that are like this with unreal capacities, in essence, if you went for the 100,640, you've got a silo. That is a silo. You could fill that up. Now, they're 1,900 each, or 2,900 with that capacity. 2,900 for a 100,000 litre silo. So you could have 10 of those lined up and just put your crops in them, if you wanted to. I know it's not realistic, but you could if you wanted to. So I thought what I would do is get one out, fill it up with 100,000 litres, because we have had the odd mod here and there, that when you do fill them up, the weight of them is so heavy you can't lift them. I'll be glad to tell you that's not the case. But again, if you don't want to go for unrealistic, you can go for the standard capacities. The same with the manure fork, 1,760, 10,760, 100,760 for the manure fork, which will do your forage type crops on there. So in that, we have got 100,640 litres of green beans. And if I hook it up to our telehandler, there you go. It's like it doesn't even know it's there. So yeah. And again, it's up to you what you do with it. I'm just passing on the information. That's the telehandler tools with with camera. That's the point of it. So there we go. There's our camera option. I do like these. The CSZ pack used to have that, and we have got, what is the other one that's got it at the moment? I like that when you're doing pallet fork work. It's pretty cool to have that as your camera angle, because you can get some really good views and stuff of what you're doing. It's pretty cool. That was the premise of the mod, and I nearly didn't show it. Ah, dearie me. Anyway, suddenly when I read it back out again, I thought, hold on a minute. Okay, next we're going to go to... Actually, we're going to do these next, then we're going to finish off with the Phiber Dash. Again, with the Phiber Dash, if I miss anything, and I'm likely to miss something, I apologise, but I will show you something which is going to make life far easier. But let's do this next. We've got the Reisch RD pack by HerrKrupp MW Misha 3615. 20.03 megabytes download, 5 slots, 4 slots, 5 slots, 5 slots, 4 slots, 5 slots for the 3 trailers. Options on these are fairly straightforward actually. I looked initially and thought, okay, we've got 3 different ones with loads of different options. Not too bad at all. The RD130, 13,000 litres. We've got option of Continental, Mitas, Vredestein, BKT. Continental's only the one that's got standard and standard 2. The others all come as they are. We've got mud guards, front and back, just back, no at all, no at all, none at all. Cover yes or no, I'll leave that on for the moment. Then we can change the metal colour, you can see what's metal. The chassis colour, which is under bit, you can see the chassis. Cover colour, if you've gone for cover. Rim colour and license plate option on there as well. Then we move to The RD150. Same options on all of this. This one's 15,000 litre with all the same options with our tyre choices and everything else. Exactly the same. And then we move to the final one, which is the RD150A. And this one is a little bit bigger. This is 16,500 rather than 15,000. Got more of a box section on the top of this, but this one doesn't have a cover option, as you can see. All the other options are exactly the same. And as you can also see, they do daisy chain together. They have rear trailer hitches. So if you want to daisy chain them, you can absolutely go for it. They have the option for tip side left, right, back and grain door. Actually, does this one have a grain door? It does. So I'll show you on the front one. If we go to the centre one and we open cover, there you go. If you've gone for a cover option on the first two, that's up to you. Let's go to the front one. We are on tip side, actually let's go tip side left, unload here. They do look good, they do sound nice. The right clanging and banging in the right places, which is kind of what you want. And then what we'll do, we'll switch to the rear. Nice bit of boom on there. Rear one, tip side left, right. Let's go grain door. I want to zoom out on that. So this one here, unload here. There you go. Notice it's not tipping. Bear that in mind. There is a delay. And I'll be honest, that just caught me out. Because when I tested it, I opened the back up, I thought I'll test that, look at the grain door, and it didn't move. And I thought, okay, cool. Switched it back off again, and I was just about to say, if you've got a low roof, that's perfect because it doesn't tip. But there was quite a delay, and then after that delay, it lifted. Of course it did. Just to prove me wrong. Anyway. Oh, dearie me. That is the Reisch RD pack, which brings me on to... Ah, buckle in, people. You're in for a wild ride. I've kind of figured it out, sort of figured it out. This is an absolute minefield. I'm sure every time this has come out before, I've done this as a separate mod review. Even if I did this as a separate mod review, I don't know if I'd be able to figure out the bits that I'm not sure about. But I'll show you. The Phiber Dash Chemical Mixing by Bcbuhler. 62.85 megabytes download, and there is a lot. So, this comes with trailers, constituent parts, ready built, ready made, good to go sets. The Phiber Dash Chemical Mixing System in essence is a set of cages, tote holders, tanks for water, liquids, strap down sections for whatever you need. We've got options for pipes. The actual dash unit is your chemical mixing system in here, and then we've also got a water pump system. All of this stuff can be purchased separately. My advice would be to get one first of all that's ready to go, and then you can kind of have a fiddle around with the systems. Whatever your option is for changing your implement, your triangle button, your implement changing is your friend. You are going to need to press that button a lot to go between all the various different attachments. And I would say if you're having any problems and you're struggling, something's not working, check your triangle button, check to make sure you're the right implement first. I still don't know if I've got it right or not. What I will say as well, I don't know if I'm losing my marbles or not. I can't find the Rogator. Now, this is something else to point out. This is the Modding seed tender. Now, on the previous version of this worked on here, and it works on this one as well. If you put it on the back of the wagon, and then you get into the vehicle, it gives you the option to attach or detach it. When the pipe folds back in, it folds back in there. So you can use this for a multitude of various different things. You can use it for mixing up liquid fertilizer, herbicide. You can just run this tank if you want to with water in it, or liquid fertilizer or herbicide without the mixing unit. You can run a seed tender on the back of it. So this wagon basically just utilises everything you need to be out in the field for operating your equipment and machinery, which is really cool. So that MrSealyp one is not part of this pack, but it does work on here, which is pretty cool. This also comes with pallets. We've got water-soluble fertiliser. We've got small containers. These are pretty cool as well. These are unmixed herbicides, so basically concentrate. You've got loads of options for different brands within those as well. And then we've also got that unmixed concentrate in a big IBC as well, which is 1,000 litres. Now, what is your friend? If we come to this menu here, go across to help, then where it says there base game, if I go across precision farming, then here Phiber chemical mixing. So I'm not, this is not in essence a guide to, this is me showing you where to find the knowledge to make this work. I've read through this about 15 times now and I'm still not sure. So it is very, very helpful though. We've got using the trailer, assembling the trailer, and functions of components. When you go through all of it and kind of trying to work things out, it does start to make more sense. And then use my slider. So at the top it tells you how to fill your water, what to do with it. You can just fill it out with liquid fertilizer and herbicide. You don't have to use the mixer. Then it says loading products. To fill the dash with products for mixing, you can put the totes or jugs of unmixed herbicide or pallets of soluble fertilizer on the deck of the trailer or on the tote deck or cage. Now I found it only seems to work strapped down on the tops of those cages, but again that'll make more sense in a minute. Then it says to fill the dash with them, you will need to have the dash selected, triangle's your friend, to get the prompt in the help menu to refill. Now what I'm struggling with, I've only been able to get the herbicide to work. If I've got herbicide and the fertilizer concentrate on there, for some reason it's only given me an option for herbicide. I can't, there's got to be something I'm doing wrong. Then unloading the dash. And to unload from the dash, you'll need to open up the pipe. The dash 4.4, and all this will make more sense in a moment. The 4.4 and the 1.4 have two pipe options, one for mixing and one for unloading base game herbicide or liquid fertilizer from the tanks. The water pump has one pipe option to unload whatever is in the tanks. Once you've opened the pipe, a laser will appear to show you where the unload point will be. That can be moved. What's more important with that is, if we come down again, for most sprays the laser should be positioned on the tank of the sprayer. However, that isn't always the case. For example, the Agrifax, it should be positioned on the cab, just to make life easy. For planters, most will need the laser lined up with the tanks as well. If they don't fill, you might need to try opening the tank first. So again, if you're having problems, it's a case of coming back into here and going through this system and saying, okay, what have I missed? What haven't I done? What haven't I switched on? What haven't I opened or closed? It's fiddly, it really is, but you'll get there. And then right at the bottom it says most of the time you can drive into the laser and it will automatically start filling. However, sometimes if it doesn't fill automatically, enter the truck the dash is attached to and it should start unloading. So that's using the trailer, kind of. If we go then assembling the trailer, now again I'm not going to read through all of these, but this is absolutely your friend. We've got the 45-foot step deck, we've got the 50-foot step deck, we've got gooseneck options, we've got X2 flatbed options, so depending on what truck packs you've got, this will work with ×2 truck packs, the Volvo ones and various different ones. Then it says the Winkler grain box. The Winkler grain box from the bulk track bed pack, which isn't part of this pack, also will work with the Phiber dash components and the water pump. So there's a whole load of trailers. Now the trailers as well in their base configuration can be used for auto load of bale and bales as well. So you've got bale loading and everything. Now again, I'm not going to read through all of these, but if you look at the various different options on these, especially on the 50-foot step deck, the one below that says components 3250 tank, tote deck and dash 4.4. The back section of that trailer is for loading a sprayer onto. There's so many different configuration options of how you can set these things up, and I'll show you. I would say go for the other versions, the setup version. So there we go, 45-foot dash trailer simple. This version of the Phiber dash is just a basic trailer for transporting water, herbicide or liquid fertilizer. It is not reconfigurable. It's not capable of mixing for those who want a simpler trailer. So that's not a mixing one. You can just go for that. Below that we've got lizard trailers, a selection of all those different trailers can have all the other attachments put on. The dash 1.4 and 4.4, these are your mixing units. So they can both be used to mix herbicide and liquid fertilizer. The 4.4 will unload twice as fast as the 1.4. There you go. The water pump is used to unload whatever is in the tanks with no mixing function. Then the tanks, these can be used to move water, herbicide, liquid fertilizer and can be unloaded using the water pump or either of the dashes, the 4.4 or the 1.4. Then cages. Cage and tote deck are used to add more storage space to your trailer. The tote deck must be attached to the dash 4.4. So the one that's open to the left of that will attach to the dash, and then yeah, it's complicated. Then we've got our unmixed herbicides, can be purchased in two forms: 10-litre jugs, we've already seen, 1,000-litre totes, and then we've got the soluble fertilizer. which comes in pallets like that. You can find these all over the place. So if we go to low loaders first, you will see all the various different options. So Phiber 45-foot step deck trailer, 50-foot step deck, gooseneck with hydraulic ramps, the X2 flatbed, steel drop deck, renowned drop deck. Then we move on to the pre-built. So you've got the 45-foot, 50-foot pre-built, and then we've got that one for a sprayer deck, and then that one there, which is the simple. So that doesn't have the mixing options. For example, this one here, the whole back section is open and unfolds. I've got one of these out for putting a sprayer on the back of it. But like I said, that will depend on what sprayers you're using. I'm not going to go through all the options on all the trailers, but we've got triaxle aluminium, and you've got filling configuration standard, hose reel, back again, rim colour on that one. If we go to one of these ones, let's say the 50-foot. So this is the one that comes pre-made. I grabbed one of these out. So you've got a tank either end, you've got your tote container, you've got your cage, you've got your Phiber 4.4, you've got a water pump on there as well, already on the trailer. If we come to these options, for example, let's pick that one. So that's your basic trailer. Now you can use that trailer as is, but you've got here straps, no auto loading, no straps. So if you want to use it for bale configuration for auto loading, you can. Auto load capacity display, yes or no. Sprayer deck, standard manifold steps. You can have the steps down there as well. Sprayer deck, if you want to put a sprayer on the back of it. With manifolds, steps, and then back to standard. Main colour, design colour, and rim colour can be changed on those. Now if we come out of there, you'll find these all under semi-trailers as well. So here we go, look. So these are under semi-trailers too. If we go to, where was it, under sprayers, you'll find those are the same three, but they're under sprayer units as well. And then from there, if we go down to, where was it, miscellaneous? There's your Phiber 4.4, 25,000 to buy. Filling configuration standard, boom. I went for boom, but it's up to you. Hose reel, that doesn't unwind, but it's there as a look thing, or back to standard. Main colour option. The 1.4 just has colour option. You then got your cage, your tote deck. Again, colour options on these. Your water pump. Then we come on to all the tanks. 10,400 litre tank, 12.3, 14.2, 16,000 litre, 5,300 upright, 6,400 upright, 7,500. Then the white smooth versions, not ribbed, 4,000, 5,100, 5,700, 6,200, and 7,700. And then options on these, you've got design with the dash logo, yes or no. Then you've got your main colour, which is your tank. Hoop colour is your hoops. Hoop-de-hoop. And then you've got your main colour on these. So, you know. And they're all really nicely made and detailed. Very, very cool. If we come down to our pallet tanks, you'll find there's the herbicide tote. 24,000 for 1,000 litres. But that is your concentrate. That will mix with water to produce whatever it is you're going to make. If we come then to pallets, it was pallets, wasn't it? Yes, there we go. 260 gives you the 10 litre. And this is what I was talking about. You can't actually quite see on there. We've got VP180, Enlist Duo, Lontrell XC, Pixaro, Prestige XL, Prominex, Resuvant, Simplicity, Stellar XL, back to VP180. Then amounts we can go 1 through to 8 for collecting these as well. So you can pick your particular brand type if you want to on there. And then here's your soluble fertilizer on a pallet, 200 litres. Again, this is a concentrate. That's why it's 12,500, and you can get this in multiples of 1 through to 8 as well if you want. Confused yet? Get ready. So, as I've already shown you, we've got the seed tender on the back of that one. All these things can be then unbolted, disconnected. So at the moment, triangle, if you look top left, highlighted is my seed tank. If I do that, I've now unhooked it. So unhooked, it will come up there with that when you put it on the back. If I attach it now, I can then hopefully pipe, start the engine, pipe in, there you go. So that'll put the pipe back. If you've gone for that seed tender unit, that's absolutely fine. So if you've gone for this one and you want to put a sprayer on the back, if you haven't got the seed tender unit on it, if we go to our trailer, we've got our option 4, where are we? Unfold low loader, which does that. Then lower low loader, which does that. And with the right axle width, you can drive a sprayer up onto the back of that, so you can run your sprayer unit mixing station there with your sprayer on the back. You drive out to the field, take your sprayer off the back, and then off you go and you start operating. But like I say, that used to work with the Hardy. I grabbed up the Agrifax, and I think with these ones, and not all of them even unfold, but they will only open up their axle width once unfolded, but you can't drive down the road with that completely unfolded. So that's a bit of an odd one. So you'd have to fiddle around with that. But like I say, that was mainly to show you those options on this one. And again, I haven't got all the trailers out. This is what your pallet looks like of your solid fertilizer, your soluble stuff. Sorry, solid fertilizer, your soluble liquid fertilizer. That's your herbicide. These are liftable by hand. I went for Prestige XLs. There's our front tank. There's one of our cages, and again, this will be, you can open and close these depending on which ones you've chosen. I've got one of the soluble things up on the top of that. These all have tension straps on as well, so you can strap them down. That, I think we can do the steps down from that. Water pump is there, fixed in place. There's our Phiber 4.4. Here's our boom, which is out, and you can see the laser that it talks about there. That's adjustable. I'll show you that in just a moment as well. These totes, you've got the option to open and close these, so these straps will go across. Like I say, I couldn't get these to strap down onto the deck, but they would strap down onto the top, and then we've got a tank on the back. Now these tanks can be filled up with, you can either bring a water tank out to it and fill up, or this here is part of this pack as well, as if there wasn't enough going on. We go into build mode and we go across to our containers. For 3,000, slot count on this is 4. We get this well. So you've got a well with this pipe that comes out, and you can fill up from there for free if you want to fill up. So that's those steps. Let's see if we can get this showing what it should be doing. But I say you can fill these with just liquid fertilizer or just herbicide if you don't want to go through the mixing options. So let's jump in here. Boy, I hope this works. So let's switch to our, so that's the lorry, that's the flatbed. Now if we go to the front one, that's our front tank. That next one is the rear tank. That is for our totes at the is it a cage at the front? That's our cage at the front. So if we go L1, R1, right stick up and down. See that? We're sliding the cage door open and we're raising and lowering our steps. Does that. R1, right stick up and down. Opens and closes that cage door. Right stick side to side does that. So we can open the cage side to side if you've got them in like that and you're up on there, and you can put your steps up and down. Press triangle again. That puts us on our Phiber dash, and you see there it says refill dash. You can probably see on the right hand side as well, we've got unmixed herbicide, water soluble fertilizer and water. The water is in the 2 tanks. Unmixed herbicide and the water soluble fertilizer are strapped down on the top. Once they were strapped down on the top, it's like the trailer recognised they were there. Now this one does have the option then for our pipe. So if we see here, at the moment we're on pipe out 2. Press down the D-pad, pipe in. It says pipe out 1, unmixed herbicide. Press it again, pipe out 2, but it doesn't mention the fertilizer. I can't work out how to do the solid fertilizer unless I take off the unmixed herbicide. Maybe that's how I want to do it. But also we've got the option here. See that? We've got L1, R1, right stick up and down, and then right stick side to side, so you can position where that laser will go, and then we can fold that back in against the unit as well. So wherever you want that to be, wherever you're going to be unloading, that's where you can adjust your laser to. Press triangle again, puts us to our totes. If we go R1, L1, L1, there we go, unfold tote deck. There you go, see it's taking those straps away. Fold tote deck, puts them back. Press triangle again, puts on the rear tote deck, so it's fold tote deck, puts the covers back on there. So we've got all those options for doing all those things, and all these things can be detached. You'll see where it says detach. As I'm pressing triangle, I'm going through each of these items, and that will be the same for putting them on. If you've gone for a flatbed trailer and you want to put these items on, you put it on in the position it needs to be in, and it should come up when you get back in the cab with the option to attach that item. If it doesn't give you the option to attach that item, you've probably put it on the trailer in the wrong place. So again, it's a lot of fiddling around. Now, if I now press triangle till I get to the Phiber dash, which is that bit there in the middle, it says refill dash. Now what should happen, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the engine off. So this is where I'm slightly puzzled, because at the moment I've got my concentrates and my water. What should happen is when I bring over a sprayer, whatever it might be, the boom sprayer, and I put it in the right position for this laser, that should then take water from here and take water, whatever it is you're mixing, and mix it in here and put it into your sprayer, whatever it might be. So if I put it there, try and get in a better position. So I can go back into the lorry and adjust it. Let's get that laser there. Now, top left, it's not giving me any option for pressing to fill. I thought it would be refill, and it would give the option for fertilizer or herbicide, but it's not giving me the option. If I come to here, top right, you see what it's saying? Phiber dash. It's telling me what water we've got. If I turn on the engine now, and it's saying refill dash, if I do L3, start the engine, see what it's doing? Bottom right, my water and my unmixed herbicide have just gone down. It was pumping, you could hear the pump doing the pump thing. So I go back to this now, this should be full. There we go. Oh, it didn't fill it completely though, that's interesting. Why did that stop? I say more testing is going to be required. This is, I mean, that in essence is how it's supposed to work. I'll try it with this. The Agrifax is the one that said it needs to be over the cab for this to work. Why can I not get? I'm just wondering, is it worth me taking off that and see if I can just do that? Where's my telehandler? I'm going to do that. Bear with me just a second. Okay, so I've taken off that. I went for the Stella on that one, on the herbicide. Let's see if we get back in the lorry. Is it still registering that the other one's on there? So water soluble fertilizer is on there. Says refill dash. Let's start the engine. If I press L3 now, am I not in the right place with this? Maybe I need to adjust this a little bit. Swap in. No, it's done herbicide again. Did it do herbicide from before? Okay, let's get rid of the herbicide and come back onto it. Now that's all turned on. It says you should be able to drive up to it, and it automatically will do it, unless there's a problem with the This is the problem. See, there's so many options, so many things to do. I'm also making the assumption that the mod is working correctly. Because if the mod's not working correctly, if it needs an update or there's a problem, then I've got to be careful here. There we go, right. That's empty. Yeah, it could be there's a problem, and for some reason that the liquid fertilizer's not working. This definitely said the Agrifax had to be in the cab, didn't it? Shall I try and go to the back? What we can do as well, let's go back to here. Let's go back to our help window, go to there. So it says we want to go down to the bottom there. Yeah, it shows it right, that bottom picture. It shows the Agrifax with it over the cab. Try there. Try this again, see what happens. Refill dash. Just doesn't want to do it, does it? It keeps flicking the top one, unmixed herbicide. But I can't keep that spraying. If that's put herbicide back in again. Yeah, herbicide again. There's no herb. Oh, hang on. Is it taking it from here? But again, that can't be right, surely. It wasn't registering that was even there. Yeah, 3 litres. Okay, let's take this out of the way. This is a nightmare, right. Go away, you. Let's unload this. So I'm driving back now thinking, if that genuinely is the case, that you can't have both on there at the same time, then I'm not. There we go. That just took it, didn't it? every time I press it. Do a little bit more, and that should, at some point, I assume, stop filling up. Yeah, it's mixing as we go. Please tell me we've got fertiliser in here now. Yeah, baby! But it's not doing it. Like I say, it's not doing it automatically, which is weird. I thought it was supposed to do it automatically. And one of the times I did it, it did work. Let's go to here. So, because I thought, oh, that's really cool. Turn the engine on. Let's switch to make sure we're on the dash. Engine off. Engine on. Yeah, one of the times I did a bit of practice, when I turned the engine on the lorry, it just automatically started chugging away and it worked fine. So yeah, there's going to be something, because I thought if I press L3 it's just going to keep going, but I'm having to keep pressing it. It is working though, but the weird thing is, you can see that our pallet, look, our pallet's going down, although that's using... Consider how much that pallet cost. That's nowhere near full. That pallet was like 20 grand, or was it 12 grand? That pallet was 12 grand. I don't know. I can't. Like I say, I'm checking. Every time I'm doing this, I'm looking at my options. L1, R1, L1, R1. So start the engine. So let's go pipe out, pipe in. Right, pipe in. Pipe out 1. Pipe out 2. I'm definitely on the dash. I'm on the right thing. Refill. Top right is saying my water. 260 litres of water in the Phiber dash. The pump, I assume, is doing what it should be doing. It's not giving me any option for adjustment of the pump. But we've used nearly all of that water-soluble fertiliser. In which case, I don't understand the point of the concentrate. What have we got in there? 6,000 litres. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If we bought liquid fertiliser, that's 2,000, so 6,000 litres would have been 9,600. And one of these pallets was what? 12,500, of which we've nearly already used. So, yeah, I have to be doing something wrong. But I can't work out what it is. So again, like I say, I'm sure someone else will have done it, and I'll get loads of comments saying so and so showed it works properly. I'm going through all of it. I've done enough mod reviews now, and I reviewed this when it came out in 22. I don't remember it being this complicated. I thought it'd just be a simple case of drive up next to it, click L3, refill. It would take water from here. It would take water from. It would take water from here. It would take the stuff, and it would do the thing. Anyway, I don't know if this has been helpful at all. At least you've seen all the gear, you've seen where the menu is, so you can go in, you can find that menu, you can see how to do everything, and then it will be a case of really playing around with it. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.